So, very good afternoon to everyone. Today we have with us Dr. Parimal Merchant, Director, SP Jain, School of Global Management, Mr. Shantanu Kharia, Vice Chairman, Modern Group of Institution, Indore, Dr. Puneet Kumar Dwivedi, Group Director, Modern Group of Institution, Indore. On behalf of Modern Group of Institution, I, Arpita Patel, Head in Media Corporate Communication, welcome you all to the webinar on post-COVID-19 family business scenario. Before starting the webinar, I would like to give a brief introduction about our organization. Modern Group of Institution is a premier institute in Indore affiliated to RGPV and DAVV and CBS New Delhi and approved by AICTE, NCTE and PCI New Delhi. Modern Group is imparting quality education in the field of pharmacy, management, commerce and education. We offer more than 8 courses in these fields, which includes B Pharma, M Pharma, D Pharma, BBA, BCom, and B.Ed. Modern Group encompasses 2 leading pharmaceutical industries, Modern Lab and Nandane Laboratories Private Limited. Modern Laboratories was established in 1979 by late Shri P.C. Karyaji, and Nandani Medical Laboratories was established in 1998. Both gained prestigious acclamation in the All India rating of pharma industries. We also have Modern International School established in 2013. We believe in innovation and entrepreneurship, and hence we introduced MP's first pharma incubator center, that is Modern Incubation Center, in the year 2019, sponsored by MSAV. Recently, we have received World Book of Record for making largest human image of medication capsule. Also, we are recognizing participating institute of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan in association with IIT Delhi and MHRD Government of India. The institute also have Modern Innovation Council, which is an innovation cell, IIC, by MHRD Innovation Cell. Now, our chairman, sir, respected Shri Anil Khariaji, also joined us. And I request Chairman, Modern Group of Institution, Mr. Anil Khariaji, to welcome our guest, Professor Parimal Merchant.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon.
सर मॉडर्न ग्रुप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशंस के पोर्टल पे आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है.
थैंक यू.
फैमिली बिजनेस के बारे में जो चीजें हमने आपसे सीखी हुई है, तो मेरा बहुत मन था कि सभी लोगों को इस फैमिली बिजनेस में इस समय जो ग्रोइंग टाइम है, तो क्या क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं अपने कोविड-19 के बाद, क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्कोप्स और चीजें खुली हुई ऐसा मुझे लगता है. तो इसलिए मैंने सोचा कि भाई कम से कम आप हमारे स्टाफ और बाकी जो लोग सब जुड़े हुए हैं उनको बहुत अच्छे से मार्गदर्शन कर सकेंगे. और मैं आपका स्वागत करता हूं और उन सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स का भी स्वागत करता हूं जो इस समय हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं. थैंक यू.
We already have 115 participants with us. Now, before moving further, I would like to give a brief introduction about Dr. Parimal Merchant. Dr. Parimal Merchant is the director with SP Jain School of Global Management, Dubai, Mumbai, Singapore, and Sydney, in charge of the Global FMB, a distinctive 12-month management program for sons and daughters of business families. He has over 26 years of association with management education, from which 21 years of specialization in the area of creating specialized program adapting management education to the context of family managed business. Over the year of interaction with over 5,000 students from family businesses, he has developed matchless insight into the family businesses culture of Asia. He has given various conferences on issue of family managed business. In the area of family businesses, he has created management programs not only for the sons and daughters, but also for the fathers from the families, known as OMP. But for the first time in the world, a program known as WMP for the mothers from business families. He is an advisor to the Asian Institute of Family Managed Business, which is a non-profit initiative to get sons and daughters of family businesses excited to join family businesses at young age. He is an advisory to jury members in Singapore-based Startup O, a global new venture creation support system. He has been involved in a profit management improvement consultancy project for nearly 35 years and has been involved with nearly 100 companies, both SME as well as corporates. He has coordinated projects of development of corporate citizenship, DOCC, guiding students to provide consultancy to over 300 NGOs. He is an excellent teacher and has created unique practical courses as such: learning management, management for results, trilogy of finance, managing costs for profit, taming the working capital tigers, etc. He is graduated from Mumbai with Bachelor in Commerce and Law, completed in his SC ICWA in 1982 and his PhD in 2018. He has been actively involved in humanist movement and for more than 38 years, working in global cooperation for better society and better personal life. On behalf of Modern Group of Institution, I feel honored to welcome Dr. Parimal Merchant ji. Now I request Professor Parimal Merchant to start the introductory talk on post-COVID-19 family business scenario.
And you will allow me how many minutes?
Sir, you can take your own time. We are not
Okay,
restricted to the time.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Can you allow me to share the screen?
Yeah, sure, sir. You can share the screen.
Once you are done, you let me know.
Yeah, it is done, sir. Now you can start.
So when we talk about family business, just now, the whole scenario is about a lot of discussion, lot of webinar. सब लोग ने बहुत कुछ सुना, बहुत कुछ बोला. So now the point is thinking little bit on whatever we have listened, whatever we have heard. तो ये स्टोरी है वर्षों पहले, वर्षों मतलब हजारों साल पहले लोग जंगल में रहते थे, शिकार करते थे, जो मिलता था खाते थे. एक बार जा रहे थे, बारिश आने लगी. बारिश आने लगी ना तो क्या है, सब लोग गीले होते हैं. तो एक बच्चा जा रहा था अपने फादर के साथ में, बोलते हैं कि क्या गंदा लग रहा है, मेरे को गीला नहीं होना चाहिए. फादर बोलते देख भाई, बारिश आती है ना तो सब गीले होते हैं. लड़का बोलता है लेकिन मुझे गीला नहीं होना. फादर बोलता है कोई अपना थोड़ी चलता है, तो कुदरत का कमाल है, बारिश आती है देखो सब कुछ गीला होता है, हम भी गीले होंगे. लड़का बोलता है नहीं, सब गीला हो या नहीं हो, मुझे गीला नहीं होना है. नाउ कम्स द क्वेश्चन, अगर जब फादर ने बोला कि नहीं कर सकते तो समझना नहीं चाहिए नहीं कर सकते. लेकिन ये बच्चा नहीं माना, सवाल पूछते गया क्यों गीले होते हैं. पता चला बारिश है, और बारिश और अपने बीच में कुछ नहीं है, इसके लिए बारिश गिरता है. उसने कोशिश कर करके एक झोपड़ी बना दी. अभी क्या हुआ, बारिश आई, वो झोपड़ी के अंदर खड़ा है, वो गीला नहीं होता है, बाकी सब गीले होते हैं. लोगों ने देखा ये तो जादू हो गया, कमाल, सबने झोपड़ी बना दी. अभी क्या हो गया, बारिश आ रहा है लेकिन वो गीला नहीं हो रहा है. अभी और आगे बढ़ा, बोला एक झोपड़ी से दूसरी झोपड़ी में जा रहा है, बारिश आ रहा है, गीला हो रहा है. बोलते नहीं, ये झोपड़ी से उधर जाना है, मुझे गीला नहीं होना चाहिए. फादर बोलते देख, एक बार तेरा लॉटरी लग गया ना, तो ऐसा मतलब नहीं कि हर बार तू सही होगा. इधर से उधर क्या पूरी दुनिया के ऊपर छत बना देंगे क्या. लड़का बोला वो तो छत नहीं बना सकते, लेकिन मुझे इधर से उधर जाना है और गीला नहीं भी होना. देखो भाई, अपने बाप दादा सिखा के गए हैं, बारिश आता है तो गीला होते हैं. पूरी दुनिया में ये सनातन सत्य आता है, बारिश आता है तो गीले होते हैं. अभी ठीक है तूने झोपड़ी बना दिया, लेकिन अभी इधर से उधर जाने का उतना तो गीला होना चाहिए ना. लड़का बोलता है नहीं गीला होना. एंड देन दे क्रिएटेड अम्ब्रेला. व्हाट वाज द पॉइंट वाज, जो चीज बोली जाती है ना वो मान लो, वो एक बात है, और उसको सवाल पूछो, ये दूसरा बात है. ये जो सवाल पूछने की बात है ना, उसको क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग बोलते हैं. इन लाइफ, इन बिजनेस, एवरीवेयर, if we develop this ability to question, now the objective of the question is not to disrespect the person who is telling. भाई मेरे टीचर बोल रहे कि ऐसे ही होता है तो ठीक है ना भाई, आप बोल रहे हो वो बात सही है, लेकिन मुझे पल्ले नहीं पड़ रहा है ना. So it is not that I am disrespecting the person, but I want to know more. Who said? अभी जैसे कोरोना की बात करते ना, कोरोना महामारी है, भी किसने बताया? नहीं, अपने बड़े बड़े डॉक्टर्स ने बोला. अच्छा ठीक है भाई, डॉक्टर्स ने बोला, डॉक्टर को कैसे पता चला? अभी जब मैंने इंक्वायरी किया ना, तो सरप्राइजिंग, डॉक्टर्स को कोई पता होने का तरीका ही नहीं है. तो डॉक्टर्स कैसे बोलते कि महामारी है? क्योंकि उन्होंने पढ़ा, किसी और ने रिसर्च किया, उसने बोल दिया और हमको भी बोला गया. अगर इन्होंने जो बोला ना कि करोड़ों लोग मर जाएंगे, अगर ये गलत निकला तो अरे भाई, बड़े बड़े लोग हैं, हम कौन होते हैं सवाल पूछने वाले हैं? ऑफ कोर्स नॉट, वी आर नॉट एक्सपर्ट्स, बट वी कैन क्वेश्चन इट, एंड व्हेन वी क्वेश्चन इट वी विल स्टार्ट रियलाइजिंग डिफरेंट थिंग. तो अभी ये मेरी बात करता हूँ. क्या हुआ, एट द एज ऑफ 45 मुझे कई लोगों ने सजेस्ट किया तुम जिम जाओ. तो मैं तो गया जिम. अभी जिम गया ना, तो ट्रेनर आता है बड़ा इतना हटकट्टा बॉडी बिल्डर, और मैं तो एकदम लूज. मुझे बोलता है वेट ट्रेनिंग किया पहले? मैंने बोला नहीं किया. कभी पहले जिम गए हो? नहीं गए हो. व्हाट इज द एज? 45. आ जाओ मैं तुमको दिखाता हूँ. नाउ आई सेड होल्ड ऑन, मुझे ये बताओ कि एट द एज ऑफ 45 विच एक्सरसाइज आर सुटेबल एंड विच इज नॉट, कहाँ पे लिखा है? नाउ द ट्रेनर से, देखो ये है ना, हम लोग ट्रेनर है, हम लोग सबको सिखाते हैं, हम आपको भी सिखा देंगे, बट मैं तो सवाल पूछने वाला. मैं बोला नहीं, कहाँ पे लिखा है वो बताओ. तुम ट्रेनर बने तो तुमने किधर तो पढ़ा होगा ना. एंड आई वाज शॉक्ड एंड सरप्राइज्ड दैट ट्रेनर्स इन जिम्स ऑल ओवर, नोबडी हैज स्टडीड एनीथिंग. अरे स्टडी नहीं किया तो ट्रेनर कैसे बन गया? देखो भाई, ट्रेनर का थप्पा लग गया ना तो ट्रेनर बन गया. मैं मानने को तैयार नहीं हूं. मैं बोला मुझे तो पढ़ना पड़ेगा. तो बोला ठीक है, हमारे बॉस को मिलो. उसका बॉस तो वो भी जिम फैंटास्टिक है, बट उसको भी नहीं मालूम. उसने उसके एडवाइजर के पास में भेजा मुझे. जब एडवाइजर के पास में गया तो उसने मुझे बोला देखो भाई, आज तो कहता किसी ने पूछा नहीं कि क्या पढ़ने का, लेकिन अगर आपको पढ़ना है ना तो मैं 2 बुक सजेस्ट करता हूँ. वन इज कॉल्ड एनसाइक्लोपीडिया ऑफ बॉडी बिल्डिंग, मेरे यहाँ पे पढ़ा है, आप चल के पढ़ के देख लो. और दूसरा फर्स्ट ईयर MBBS की एनाटॉमी की बुक्स. एंड व्हेन आई स्टडीड आई वाज सरप्राइज्ड. Gym is harmful for vegetarian people. A shocking thing. अरे जिम का मतलब क्या होता है? Gym is an artificial way of damaging your muscles. And the whole premise is कि एक बार मसल को डैमेज किया तो जो नया मसल बनता है ना, it's always bigger and better, stronger. That is why weight training is done to build muscles. मसल को तोड़ो और नया मसल बनाओ. लेकिन नया मसल बनाने के लिए चाहिए प्रोटीन, और वेजिटेरियन के खाने में प्रोटीन है ही नहीं, इज नेग्लिजिबल. सो इफ वेजिटेरियन पीपल वांट टू डू वेट ट्रेनिंग, दे मस्ट टेक एक्सटर्नल प्रोटीन. अभी मैं तो एक्सरसाइज करूंगा लेकिन एक्सटर्नल प्रोटीन नहीं लूंगा. मैं आर्टिफिशियल एक्सरसाइज करूंगा लेकिन आर्टिफिशियल प्रोटीन नहीं लूंगा. ये जो सोच वाले है ना, मैं तो उसमें से बच गया, बिकॉज आई आस्क्ड द क्वेश्चन. ट्रेनर मुझे बता रहा है, लेकिन ट्रेनर को किसने बताया? वो जब डिटेल में जाते ना तो पूरा चीज अलग समझ में आता है. अभी क्वेश्चनिंग का आइडिया ये नहीं है कि आई वांट टू प्रूव दैट ट्रेनर इज रॉन्ग. अरे भाई, वो ट्रेनर की नौकरी है, पूरी दुनिया को सिखा रहा है, सब कुछ का काम चल रहा है, मैं कौन आता हूँ उसको अपोज करने के लिए? बट आई आस्क अ क्वेश्चन टू लर्न, एंड दिस इज व्हाट इज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वालिटी. बच्चे छोटे होते हैं ना तभी बहुत सवाल पूछते हैं, लेकिन धीरे 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 जैसे बड़े होते हैं ना, उनको सवाल पूछने से लोग मजाक करते हैं, लोग बोलते हैं भाई सवाल मत पूछो, और धीरे 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 उनका क्वेश्चनिंग डाउन हो जाता है. लाइफ में क्वेश्चनिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये देख लो, एक जमाने में कहा जाता था कि रात को सूरज चला जाता है तो मतलब अंधेरा होना ही है. अभी सूरज चला जाता है वो तो मान लिया, लेकिन अंधेरा होना ही ऐसा क्यों? जब किसी ने सवाल पूछा तभी तो लाइट बना. एनीथिंग हैवियर देन एयर कैन नॉट फ्लाई. एक जमाने में साइंटिफिक प्रिंसिपल है, आज भी है, एनीथिंग हैवियर देन एयर कैन नॉट फ्लाई. लेकिन किसी ने सवाल पूछा तभी तो एयरक्राफ्ट बने. जब हम लोग बोलते हैं ना तो अपनी आवाज इतने मीटर तक ही जा सकती है, उसके बाद में फेंट हो जाती है। लेकिन आज अभी मैं दुबई में बैठा हूँ और आप इंदौर में बैठे हो, एनीबडी एल्स, एंड वी आर रीचिंग। ये सब पॉसिबल हुआ कैसे? किसी ने सवाल पूछा था। तो एक्चुअली ह्यूमैनिटी इवॉल्व्स बिकॉज पीपल आस्क क्वेश्चन। आज की तारीख में जो हो रहा है ना, उसमें थोड़ा सवाल पूछने से काफी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज मिलती है। वी आर लिविंग इन अ टाइम वेयर फैक्ट इतनी है और फिक्शन इतना बड़ा, एविडेंस इतना है और ओपिनियन दुनिया भर के। सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने तो लॉकडाउन डाल दिया, ठीक है भाई, चलो वो तो उनके पास में होंगे, कोई एक्सपर्ट होंगे, कुछ होगा। फिर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने भी डाल दिया, चलो भाई उनके पास में भी गवर्नमेंट है होंगी। हमारे मुंबई में म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन ने अपने रूल डाल दिए, चलो भाई वो भी अथॉरिटी है। अभी हमारी बिल्डिंग में हाउसिंग सोसाइटी है ना, उसके सेक्रेटरी ने अपने रूल डाल दिए। एवरीबडी इज गिविंग ओपिनियन। डिटेल में जाते हैं ना तो पता चलता है मेजोरिटी लोगों को तो कुछ पता ही नहीं है, सुना है, भेज दिया। तो बस ये आज का जमाना है ना, बेस्ट पीरियड है, लर्न टू क्वेश्चन। तो मैंने जब क्वेश्चन करना चालू किया ना कि भाई ये क्या है, एपिडेमिक बोलते हैं क्या, पेंडेमिक बोलते हैं, तो गूगल पे सर्च किया ना तो पता चला एक पहला पेंडेमिक हुआ था 1918, स्पेन फ्लू, 5 करोड़ लोग मर गए थे। फिर और क्या क्या होते गए ना, थोड़ा स्टडी करते गए, नथिंग टू डू विद पेंडेमिक, बस दुनिया में क्राइसिस। 1980 में लैटिन अमेरिका in 1960 was among the richest region in the world. By 1980 सब खत्म। 1989 तियानमन स्क्वायर, स्टूडेंट्स प्रोटेस्ट पे थे, तियानमन स्क्वायर जगह का नाम है, गवर्नमेंट ने ऑर्डर दिया टैंक चला दो, बड़ा दुनिया में क्राइसिस हो गया था। 1992 Gorbachev was the president of Soviet Union, making revolution in the world, saying that we should reduce cold war, we should reduce weapons, and the whole world should work towards humanity. Suddenly उसके पीछे से येल्त्सिन खड़ा होता है और अनाउंस कर देता है यूएसएसआर इज डिसॉल्व्ड। 1997 में इंडोनेशिया इज वन ऑफ द रिच ऑयल प्रोड्यूसिंग कंट्री। 97 में कुछ होता है and the country, the whole thing, whole region gets into financial crisis. Iraq, one of the biggest oil producing country in the world. 2003 weapons of mass destruction उसके पास में है बोल के उसके पे वॉर होता है, पूरा कंट्री बर्बाद। ये सब स्टडी करते गए ना हिस्ट्री में, तो पता चला कि जो दिखता है ना और पीछे कुछ होता है ना, कुछ और होता है। इस सारे केसेस में कुछ ना कुछ एडवाइजर्स थे जिन्होंने कुछ एडवाइस दी थी।
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but we also have international participant with us, so it would be great if
done.
English as a language.
Done. So all these places there used to be some advisors, and when the advisors were there, something which was seen and something which was happening was very different. Will we ever know what was the truth? Never. But at least we learn when we question, something happens. Now all this is in the world. What is in our interest? For this, we have to see some other things. In 1929, there was a Great Depression. Whatever we are talking about lockdown now and all is nothing compared to what was depression. And it followed with a big boom. 1930s was the most prosperous period till then. 1945, Second World War ended. 5 years of destruction, millions of people died. 1950 onwards was a big boom, bigger than 30s. 9/11, planes get into World Trade Center and collapse, and a big silence all over the world. And then came the boom. 2008 subprime crisis. Just now I was with a student who was making a computation of how market capitalization of iPhone changed. 2007, 150 billion. 2020, 1 trillion, all because of some boom happened. And what was it? That there is a learning. After every crisis, there is a climax. All these four incidences tell us crisis followed by climax. How come? What is happening in crisis that there will be climax? This is where we learn power of stimulus. Breakout Nations book by Richie Sharma explains what happened from 2002 to 2008, where because of stimulus, there was a boom all over the world. I had bought a flat. The value of the flat in 2003 was 23 lakhs. In 2007, it became 1 crore. Now, why did it go from 23 lakhs to 1 crore? Was it my great investment? Was my stars very good? Did I do some puja? Did I do some great thing? Nothing. Everywhere in the world, the money, power, prices of property went up in the same proportion. 2002 to 2008, because of the stimulus. Post 9/11, the American economy being paralyzed, there was a stimulus. Twice that size was the stimulus post 2008, subprime crisis. And now 4 times that is the stimulus post-corona in USA already announced. So today, US has talked about 2 trillion. In 2008, it was less than 800 billion. And 2002, it was 300 billion. So roughly, these are rough figures. But the whole point is, the stimulus size keeps going up. And this lockdown, historical figures, unthinkable, unheard. US has announced a stimulus package of $2 trillion. Japan had announced $1 trillion earlier and $1 trillion again. So now Japan, another $2 trillion. EU, another $2 trillion. First time in the history of the world, so much money is going to be available, flooding the market. So obviously, that will mean boom. And second learning from the past is that next boom is always higher than the previous boom. I've been working for 45 years now. 1980, when the stock market prices, whatever it was called Index 100. In 1990s, when it touched 1,000, we thought, my God, what kind of growth has happened? In 2006, when it touches 10, 12,000, is unbelievable. Now, when it is 34,000, it is considered as a great fall. This is every peak is much bigger than the previous peak because the stimulus power is much bigger than the previous one. This is something that we have to learn, that from history teaches us, from critical thinking teaches us, that any crisis, particularly in this kind of global world, where economy is the driver, is going to be followed by a big, big, big push. So now for family business, what does it mean? Let's say immediate kya hone wala hai? What happens immediately? There is going to be serious production loss. One person told me, now I will stop listening to all motivational speakers because they keep on saying, think positive. How can I think positive when I have no order? I have 40 crore outstanding and last month my collection is 4 lakhs. Everybody, it seems there is a standardized message. Thanks to the disruption of corona, business is disturbed. We are sorry for inconvenience, and that's it. Now 40 crore receivable not coming is a serious, serious problem. I am into textile until next 6 months. I don't see any order in pipeline. Is going to be a better thing. And cash flow, particularly in India, we are in a situation where business is supposed to be attacked from everyone. So economists are saying that government's cash flow has to be protected. Reserve Bank of India says banks' cash flow has to be protected. only business people cash flow we live because we have so much faith in Indian business people that somehow they will manage. So ultimately, all other people have given up. Now all the things are to be managed by family business people, and family business is left, right, and center, every corner of the country. My last 2 months interaction says there is going to be a serious crisis. Now we have two choices. Sar pe haath rakh ke ro, cry sitting with hands on the head, or understand that there are some things which are in our hand and something which are not in our hand. This crisis is not in our hand about anything. So whatever we can do, we'll do. But one thing is very clear. This crisis is a comma and not a full stop in the world of business. The world is not going to come to an end. It is possible that the one particular business with 40 crore outstanding, no money coming in itself may become bankrupt. The whole business may be lost. But if the business spirit is alive, the coming boom is a great time for us to really rise up again. Fall for most of the business people is certain. The business spirit is not whether you fall or not. After falling, how soon you get up, that is the spirit of the business. Now, if business has to do this, then what do we do? Here are some tips to business people. I have something called critical thinking. Now, critical thinking means what? Question. Now, question what? Question whatever is obvious. Everybody says it is like this, still we will question. Everybody says it's like this, we'll question. Then, as the business people, what do we do? So, question our approach and question our priorities. So, let's start. What is the question? The obvious. What problem are we solving, and are we solving in the best way? Ultimately, all businesses are there for what? For solving the problems. But when the work was going on, we were too busy. Just now when we are paused, can we think a little bit that what problem are we solving? Now for this, there is some very good material available. There is a book called Goal. And most of the people would have read the book Goal. The author of the book, Goldratt, wrote another book. It's called Goal 2. Iska naam tha, earlier it's not luck, but now it is called Goal 2. Now in this book, he's explaining that one company is in the business of boiler and there is a recession and nobody is buying boiler. What to do? Then suddenly came the idea. Let's question, why do people buy boiler? And then there is something called learning to ask questions. Why does anybody want to buy a boiler? When they asked, they learned, actually speaking, nobody wants boiler. What people want is a steady supply of good quality steam. Now, if steady supply of good quality of steam can be made available through pipeline, then nobody wants to buy a boiler. So this whole question that what problem are we solving? And can there be a better way of solving? Every business is solving a problem. The day we can question and change our way of working, that is the day of business transformation. Gillette naam ka ek ladka, a boy called Gillette, created disposable razor blade. And the whole world started using Gillette blade for shaving. It started with a single blade and the shave will be 80% effective. So it means those who wanted a better shave, they had to do it twice. Gillette people went on doing R&D. Millions of dollars spent on R&D and then they came out with an path-breaking innovation. Twin blade. Now, shave is brilliant. 94%. Still 6% is a problem. But they have found a way out. Triple blade. 96%. 4 blade. 97%. 5 blade. 97.5%. Every blade that they add, the incremental benefit lower. Now started the question, what problem are we solving? And the question started, very simple, people want to buy blade, so we are giving them blade. Why are people buying blade? Hey, don't ask such a stupid question. People buy blade for shaving. Why do people shave? Is there a question? It is their marji, their ichha, their desire. They want to shave. Why do they want to shave? And now, when you scratch the surface, you have to define the problem. And the problem is to remove the unwanted growth of hair on the face. Now, nobody wants to shave on the hair. People are worried. They want more hair there. Those who are keeping beard, she is keeping beard, they don't want to remove it. Those who don't want to keep beard, every day morning, there is unwanted growth of the hair on the face. So to remove that, they do shave. If that is the case, how about if we come up with a cream, when applied for 24 hours, there will be no growth of on the face. Now, if that cream is applied and next 24 hours, no growth of hair on the face, then no shave and no blade. Solving problem, what problem are we solving? And is there a better way to solve the problem is one of the questions. Everybody wants to solve, but not with the same way. Now, there is a second thing to ask. What activities are we doing? You know, TCS is a great company. One of the most valuable company. Bombay stock market is the biggest company. Obviously, they must be having great brains. Last almost 20 years, this work is going on. It's called BPO. Even today, TCS work, a major chunk comes from only BPO. What is BPO? American companies are transferring their back office to people sitting in India. So when somebody in America calls up, a person from India is replying, they could outsource the work from America to India, thousands of kilometers. But TCS people so far thought that all that has to be in their building only. Now that because Corona came up suddenly because of the compulsion, they realized कि ये सब office में रखने की क्या जरूरत है? And now you look at business today, what is their announcement? They have an employment strength of 4.5 lakh. And they are saying that by 2025, 75% of them will be working from home. A technology that has been available, that they have been using for 20 years. But they never questioned that can't we apply in our own case? If an American thing can be outsourced to us in India, why can't we outsource from our office to their house? They didn't ask. But now that when they ask, this is where it is. Whatever activities are we doing? Why are we doing? And is there a better way to do it? Then there is a third question. What resources are we using and what time are we using? And is there a better way? So now you see, really there is a problem of a bug. You see here there is a mosquito. This mosquito keeps on making bugs and sound and all this thing and keeps on biting here and there. I want to get out of the nuisance. So I have here a spray with me, an insecticide spray. Now, how much of the insecticide is enough to kill the mosquito? 1 droplet. But my problem is this mosquito will keep moving here. So what I do is I flood that entire area with 5,000 droplet so that wherever mosquito go, it will be hit and it will be killed. But in the process, what did I do? Something which required 1 droplet, I fired 5,000 droplet. What kind of resource use? Now supposing somebody had found this out, that from my spray, only 2 droplets are out. They chase the mosquito, and if mosquito goes here, there, the droplet will chase it and will hit it. Then what will happen? 2 droplet will do the work which 5,000 droplet were doing. But is it possible? Exactly this technology is used in something called guided missile, where the missile goes and it will chase the target, and wherever the target is going, it will chase and go and hit it. The question is, when somebody questions what resources are we using, look at a typical tailor. Whenever I go and give them a trouser to stitch, does light measurement and all in very style, then will write everything and will give me a slip. I am asking, when will I don't want sleep, I want my trouser. After 1 week. I always wonder, is this my trouser? If this tailor is going to one week on my trouser, how can he afford? No, sir. We don't work on your trouser for 1 week. Trouser is only 2 hours job. If it is a 2 hours job, then why are you telling me 1 week? Because I have so many people before. So look at the entire tailoring industry. Every customer before me have been delayed by 1 week. Every customer after me will be delayed by 1 week. Supposing a tailor takes 1 week off, finishes all the pending pipeline, and starts announcing a board outside, delivery within 3 hours. Give us the fabric, go for a movie, come back and your garment is ready. What will happen? The whole thing is very different. Because it is going on, business goes on. Now when we question critical thinking, a very new model comes. And the last point of question is this. Do we know what we know? Many people say, this is a little tongue twister. What do you mean, do we know what we know? Obviously, we know what we know. But it's a tongue twister. So here is one person I was talking to. He's supplying chindi, it's called cotton waste, to Reliance. The turnover is 5 lakhs. He earns a margin or profit of around 50,000. And with that, वो अपना घर चलाता, he's running his household expenses. I was talking to him. You know, this critical thinking and looking at business applies to everything. A small, tiny vegetable vendor or a big Reliance refinery. Logic is same. So I was asking him, what do you know? I know everything about cotton waste, from where it is available, what price it is available, where it is used. What else do you know? I know who all are other people in the competition, what price they are selling, what price I can sell. What else do you know? I know I'm supplying to Reliance. Now comes another thing. What do you know about Reliance buying process? I know how the indent is generated, how it goes to store, how it goes to purchase, how purchase will place the order, how the material is to be delivered, and how the payment process takes place inside. And now you look at the second part of this point. He thought that he knows about cotton waste, but really he knows the buying process of Reliance. He was always working on his knowledge of cotton waste. He thought buying process of Reliance, what? Anybody will know. Everybody does not know. Now comes a question. Can you leverage on his knowledge about buying process of Reliance? Okay, tell 10 people. Want to supply anything Reliance? Come to me. I know the entire buying process. You want to go direct? Try. You can't even go inside the purchaser's office. So now I can take agency of business worth 50 crore. Only my strength is I know the buying process of Reliance. The point is why I did not give credit to me. Because I thought what I know, everybody must be knowing. So I never valued it. The day business people start valuing what unique thing they know and start developing or leveraging on that, that's another aspect of critical thinking. Now, when we go to work, somehow people have a tendency to say that they go to work every day. Now, maybe they are doing some routine work again and again and again, but after all, people have to keep themselves busy. So people keep themselves busy. And what do? So there is 4 ways of looking at things. One is called sequential. Try one. Doesn't work, try another. Doesn't work, try third. Doesn't work, try fourth. One after another after another. Simultaneous is, can we try all the 5? Now, it may happen that first and second may not work, but the fourth may work straight. This whole idea, in our approach, do we have sequential approach or do we have simultaneous approach? Then we have a second approach. Once a machine breaks down, then we will work to repair. Once the person is given resignation letter, then we will try to convince him to stay back. That is called reactive. Proactive is to maintain the machine in such a way that there will be no breakdown. Proactive is to keep our people in such a way that they don't even resign. They don't even think of resigning. Now, both are the approach. What approach we follow? The third thing about approach about, now this chalta hai is a unique Hindi word. In English, it would mean say, just carry on whatever the show goes on. So certain quality compromise goes on, is acceptable to customers, so let it go. 10% rejection is allowed, so let it go. This is one thing. What is ideal? Even if it is allowed, I want to make it ideal. Now, these are approach. In short term, it is another thing. In long term, it is another effect. And the last issue about approach is, we should do what we have been doing all the time. That is called repetition. And zero based means begin with the notion as if you are starting right now. So ignore whatever was done in the past. What is it that we do? So IBM has been dealing into computer by what? Chip is designed. They will get the chip. The team, big team, cross function and all this thing will work on architecture. 6 months, they will design a particular architecture. Then it will go to factory and they will make a jigs and fixtures and all this another 6 months. Then the production will go to the wholesale market. Then it will go to the retail market. By the time a chip has come, IBM computer goes to the market is 1.5 years. And this has been a norm. Every company does like this. If you are in business, you do this way only. Michael Dell, a college student, he doesn't understand that in business things like work like this. So he starts like this. Chip is announced. So what is to be done? Have a website, tell people whatever you want, you tell us, we will assemble and give it to you. No designing, no jig and fixture, no production, no wholesale, no retail. Straight design to your choice. Dell prices start going up, IBM share price going down. This is the power of zero based. It's an extremely powerful approach. And most people who are used to business, they are going to continue in the way they have been doing. Zero based is totally with a different question. Last thing is about our priorities. Managing for Result 1964, that is more than 50 years ago, Peter Drucker wrote the book. And he said that a typical business has a serious problem of priority. 3 priorities it talks about. One is how much time they spend inside and how much time they spend outside. Why do they go to office every day? They go to office every day and they look at the paper every day and they want to look at MIS and they want to look at everything inside. Resource and result exist outside. So Drucker suggested that every businessman can take a look last 1 month, how much time we spent inside and how much time we spent outside. The second priority is about opportunities and problems. Where do we spend our time? In solving the problem or in exploring and exploiting opportunities? Life is going like this. When there is a problem, we come down. When we solve the problem, we come back to the same level and we are at the same level. Solving problems takes you back to the same level. It is only opportunities which can take you up. And every business can look back in their past. Whenever there was a point of inflection, there was an opportunity, and invariably that opportunity came from outside. So where should we spend our time? And the last priority is maintain status quo or go on doing things differently. Is not only doing differently, is going on doing differently again and again. So we discussed in our class, there is something called chasing rabbits. Rabbit is at point A. I try to chase it. I try to catch up. Then rabbit point moves to point B. By the time I catch up, it moves to point C. In business, if the priority is to go on doing things differently, then is altogether a different thing. So for us, the whole question is, we discuss this concept called critical thinking. Applying critical thinking in our business is what is going to be a most important thing for most family business. This is more or less the idea for us to do. I had to make a presentation. I am sharing my email ID here in case anybody wants to look at my blogs or by email ID. I hope you have taken down, and now I will stop the sharing. Yes, ma'am.
It was very informative and it was wonderful explanation by your side. I was just fascinated by your speech. And now we will start the question answer round. We have certain question, and also we have 186 participants with us, and they also have certain queries and questions for that. But first, questions which I have prepared almost cover all the topics which the participants are asking. So my first question is, what changes will occur in the family businesses, family managed businesses after this COVID-19?
In my opinion, is very difficult to forecast. Future में क्या होने वाला है ना, ये तो पता नहीं. But I have seen some of the things in my upbringing. 1977, there was an emergency, and the whole society, the whole country was at a standstill. 1991, there was such a serious financial crisis. It was said that India had to pledge the gold, and we got the money. I'd seen those days. Once 9/11 happened, all of us were shocked. Unbelievable. A country like America being attacked, and everything was stopped. After having seen all this, I can only tell you one thing. When we were in crisis, people thought everything will change drastically. Post-crisis, nothing changed. Life remained as it is. The only one thing happened. More and more money became available. People became more and more rich. So post-crisis, post-COVID, kya hone wala hai? You think people are going to work only on Zoom? I challenge it won't be. People are working on Zoom because there is no other option today. In 9/11, when the two planes went into, the whole aviation industry thought that now people will do only video conferencing. And imagine, 20 years ago, the same technology was available. Video conferencing was available. They thought aviation traffic will go down. 2004, Deccan Aviation comes in, Deccan Airlines. 2007, it becomes largest airline in India. Look at the phenomenal growth. Aviation happened after a prediction that now people will stop traveling. So I believe whatever opportunities we have, do critical thinking, look at what is around, and without any handicap, be open, be receptive to explore new world. Instead of trying to predict this will happen like this and that will happen like this, personally, I advise my students, leave the prediction on others. Let's start working on what is in front of us.
Thank you so much, sir. My next question is, because all the family managed business are facing many challenges these days. So what, how they will overcome it, because they are facing a lot of challenges these days. So how should they can overcome it?
What challenge they are facing?
Many challenges, like financial challenges. Then
the whole point is, can you imagine today when I tell my supplier I have no money, I have a blanket excuse. Supposing COVID was not there and I had no money, then nobody will believe me. Everybody will chase me. So actually, family businesses people got very big opportunity just now. There is a saying, now this I have to speak in Hindi only. इसमें ना सब पाप धुल जाते हैं. In the name of Corona, all the problems are being told like this. On the other end, हुआ क्या है? 2 महीना धंधा नहीं हुआ, बस वही. What else has happened? No earthquake has happened. No factories have been demolished. No bombing has taken place. Not millions of people have died. What has happened? 2 months statue. That's it. So people are talking a lot. Of course, certainly. 2 months means a big thing. It's not a joke. There will be a cash flow problem, as I already told you. But no family business is going to die. Let's be very clear. There will be a tough time. We'll have to take people along. We'll have to cut corners. We'll have to cut cost. We'll have to stagger the payment and all. But Indian family business have a particular unique quality. You know, there are good business people in Japan, in China, in many other countries, but they are nothing compared to Indian family business people. If Indian family business people go to Japan, we can beat Japanese left, right, and center because of one quality. In all other countries, businesses grow with the support of governments. In India, businesses grow in spite of governments. So whichever government can be in power, of course, they have their own constraint. The point is, whichever is the government, whether they will support, they will not support, family business people learn to maneuver their way out. Tremendous abilities. And based on that, I'm telling you, if I say that people will have no problem, it's ridiculous. There are going to be problems. But if I say that Baba Ramdev will come down with a particular Ramban churna, that if you eat it and all your problems will be over, that also is a not thing. Problems are there and we will have to face it. All that I can tell you, having interacted with 5,000 family business people, is that they will face it and they will come out much bigger and stronger.
Sir, there is a question from Dr. Ravi Vyas.
Yes.
I think this is related to our topic as well. That you, in your speech, told that the burden of making the economy or building the economy back up is on track, is on the business people. And why is it so in our country? And I want to add one more question related to this, is like, how much family managed businesses are burdened because of this thing? And why is it so in our country that family managed businesses are, like, you know, seen upon or looked upon to bring the economy back on track?
They are not looked upon to back on track. They are just looked down. That's it. Go to hell is what they are told. Now I will tell you the rationale. You know, thousands of years ago, India has civilization. Our great 2000 years ago, our ancestors were not hunters in jungle. That was long ago. India had civilization and there was a caste system. Now in caste system, what happened? The top is Brahmin. Direct connection with the God. If you don't keep Brahmin happy, connection with the God is lost. So Brahmin, no question to be asked. He is our savior. Then next came king, Kshatriya, protector. He has a knife, he has a sword, and if you don't agree with him, he'll kill you. By not killing you, he's protecting you. So the first Brahmins, no question asked. King, nobody dared to ask question. The next comes Vaishya. Now you'll imagine the working class, the last bottom class. They can't ask question any to Brahmin. They can't ask any question to Raja, the king. Now what remains? The target remains this Vaishya. These guys don't do anything and their tummy becomes bigger and bigger. So this working class have a severe hatred of business people in India. So now what happens? Any person who wants to come to power, they have to say business wale chor hai. Then he will get a lot of support. But if he says, as a government, we have to support business people, immediate accusation will start. Ye party big gayi. So in India, the whole social consciousness is anti-business. अभी पीयूष जी गोयल ने इंटरव्यू पे आके क्या बोला? भाई बिल्डर लोगों को कम रेट में बेच देना चाहिए। आप इतने अच्छा जानते हो तो आप भी कम रेट में पैसा दे दो ना लोगों को। The question was, builders are going through a certain kind of situation. Will anybody be ready to understand their problems? No. And if they do, immediate accusation is builder lobby ko bik gaye. Then comes our judges. There is a clear assumption that business wale na paisa chor ke bhag jate hain. Now, the whole assumption only begins with this. So, in India, generally, suppose नरेश गोयल, नाम सुना है नरेश गोयल का? क्या नाम सुना है? I was going to somewhere and I was landing at Bombay airport and two people were talking to each other. Bloody well, he was running away. It was good that he was stopped. I said, why are you so angry on Naresh Goyal? Arey, that guy has looted the country. Is it? How do you know he has looted the country? He has villas in Dubai and London. For a business person to have a house, Dubai mein a house, standalone house is called villa. And now if he has a villa in Dubai, what is that great deal? What about a brand, international brand built for 25 years, managing traffic of millions of passengers? No concern. Just one accusation, they have done fraud, immediate belief. So in India, anything said negative for business people, immediate buyers. Anything said positive for builder people, big gaye ho tum log builder ko. It is our real social concern. The day Indian common people realize that all said and done, even that commentator on TV who comes to criticize business people, when he realizes that ultimately his salary comes because of some business activity. The wheat are harvested in the farm and you are eating bread in your breakfast. The wheat coming from farm to your breakfast, at least 1,000 businesses have contributed something or other to bring it to you. If business was not there, everybody will have to go back and grow their own crop. Such a phenomenal contribution. All taxes ultimately paid by business people only, na? Even if chori karne ke baad mein, even after doing, not paying, still whatever is paid is only business people. All charity, business people. All the temples, all the hospitals, all the schools, business people. Ultimately, all the jobs, business people. But as a society, they are the first one to be hanged. We need a real social discussion on this, that why are we so much against business people?
So there is one more question, like it's from an anonymous attendee. Like, sir, family business kids who were planning to go for higher studies after graduation are now faced with a situation to support their family businesses. What do you suggest for them?
I don't think this is a statement of very generic statement. This must be a specific to a particular case.
Yeah.
Because most of the cases is not like this. Imagine a son or daughter from family business. What will be the age? 20, 25? What will be the age of father? 40, 45, 50? You think now that father wants him to help him out? It's not like this. So maybe there is a specific case, but it is other way around. This time has given them a golden opportunity to relook at their question. Why were they wanting to go overseas for education? Why? Why not learn within your own family business? And as you were telling me before we started, that this gave you opportunity to understand your family business far better.
Yes, sir.
So we have a notion that Western education is great in management. But when COVID happened, even their companies are also going bankrupt and Indian companies are also going bankrupt. So what greatness they have about their management? So I will tell you, sons and daughters from business family, first and foremost, are mistaken to think that foreign education is going to be good for them. Is not. No professor abroad knows how customer in India behaves. No professor abroad knows how taxation in India works. No professor abroad knows the work practices of the culture in India. If you want to do business in India, first learn practical business under your father, uncle, whatever it is. Go to one stage, and then when you are ready to expand your business worldwide, then go to the world, learn technique of doing business there, and then expand. To think that you will learn there and apply in India is a big issue.
I hope the participants got the answer. So now I have a few questions left for you, sir.
Yeah.
Our PM encouraged the concept vocal for local. So how the FMBs are benefited by this Atmanirbhar Bharat and vocal for local?
You see, when I heard PM, I thought he said something. And what all the WhatsApp messages are getting are exactly opposite of that. Now I will tell you what I heard. The word Atmanirbhar means what? Till then, you are dependent on somebody else. Now, be dependent on yourself. Does it not mean that? From Paravlamban, that is, you are dependent on somebody else, to become dependent on yourself. Develop that pride, we are not less. And he also said, Vasudev Kutumbakam, and we will be conquering the world. So he never said that now foreign product will not come and we are inefficient, we will remain inefficient, and we will sell the product by remaining inefficient. He never meant that. He meant that now realize you are capable. Indian businesses are capable. When Indians can send mission Mangal, why can't we do businesses worldwide? So the whole objective was to get Indians excited to develop faith in their own fit, faith in our own power, faith in our own capability, and go worldwide. I heard him saying that. Develop that confidence in you. Unfortunately, many other people thought China का माल यूज नहीं करेंगे ना तो हो गया काम खत्म.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful explanation, for Atmanirbhar Bharat and the vocal for local. Now, my last question is, how in this pandemic period, can you share some tips to the FMBs to run and survive their business?
It is the same we have already discussed. Abhi, everybody will talk about manage the cash flow, whatever it is. But I personally believe survival though depends on your immunity level. No? Whether you are going to catch COVID-19 or not depends on your immunity level. Now, even if you get into ICU, it will depend on your oxygen supply. If oxygen supply stops, COVID will take you over. Same thing is in business. Whether you will survive this particular pandemic or not depends on your immunity level, how fit you are. If you have tremendous amount of inefficiency, you have tremendous amount of leakages, you are living only in the mehrbani of some other people. If you have no immunity, you would be affected. Second, even if you are affected, if you have money supply, that is oxygen, that is cash flow, available to survive, then you can come out. But if the oxygen stops, if the cash flow stops, that is going to be a serious problem to any COVID patient, be it physical patient or be it business patient. So whether you will survive or not depends on your immunity and your oxygen supply. Question is, immunity is built on what? In business, immunity is built on vision, on dream. If I dream that I want to become big, somewhere in my body, adrenaline starts flowing and I build immunity. Those who have this dream today to become big, for them, the struggle is to be swam through. But those who think that as it is their business, they are going to die, to them, there will be no adrenaline and they are actually going to die. It will become self-fulfilling prophecy. So single trip is this: no matter what comes, now we are here. to take on the world. We have all the abilities. Mission Mangal, if you have not seen, watch. If you have seen once, see twice. See what is it that we are capable. Abhiman is a negative word. Garva is a very positive word. Developing that self-confidence, we are superior than others is Abhiman. But we are not inferior than others is called Garva. And what we need is to realize that we are no less. We can fight business scenario worldwide. Today, the biggest thing is India lockdown, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is, business have gone flat. But Europe also, 2 months, 3 months, business have gone flat. In India, people are young, people are hungry, they want to become big. It means they have immunity. In Europe, people were already tired, already frustrated. Businesses are dead, and they don't even have a fire to get up and walk again. Blanket opportunity for Indian business people to go all over the world. If we start becoming ready, expanding our radar, today is the time for our business people to think global vision. And that will be the real meaning of the word Atmanirbhar.
Thank you so much, sir. It was wonderful explanation, and I hope all the participant has got the answer for the queries. They have some or more, same queries, which questions I have asked and Shantanu sir has asked. Now, I, seriously don't want to end this session because, it is like, it seems like you should speak and we should hear from your side. So, but we have a time foundations also, and uh, I would like to now call upon our Vice Chairman, sir, Mr. Shantanu Khariaji, to propose word of thanks to Professor Parimal Merchant.
Word of thanks. Uh, how can I thank sir? I can just ask for his blessings, to shower upon us, because I was a student. I have done my MBA from SP Jain Institute, and sir has guided me a lot, and means he is always there for me as a mentor. And matlab, I am feeling like very grateful, sir. I'm very grateful for you to join us on this webinar and enlighten the attendees as well as me again on the issues and on the critical thinking aspect. I still remember this class of yours when you taught us this critical thinking concept and how it changed my vision. And I also hope that it changed the vision of the attendees today as well. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
And I hope your informative sessions keep enlightening us like this as always. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I would like to again thank you all the panelists and all the participants who have participated in this webinar. I request all the participants that you will get an e-certificate within 7 days, 7 working days from the date of the webinar. Secondly, you will receive the feedback form on your email ID, which you have registered for this webinar. So you will definitely get the certificate. And once again, I would like to thank all the panelists, Chairman Sir, Mr. Anil Khariaji, Vice Chairman Sir, Mr. Shantanu Khariaji, Group Director, Dr. Puneet Kumar Dwivedi, and thank you is very small word for Professor Parimal Merchant ji. Thank you so much for coming for this webinar. Thank you all the participants once again from Modern Group of Institutions. I, Arpita Patel, thank you on behalf of Modern Group of Institutions. Thank you so much.